Sometimes we need to compute an intermediate table only to use it later in another select from where query. This is performed using a subquery. A subquery is a query that is part of another query, and queries consisting of this structure are called nested queries. A query can have a subquery, which in turn can have a subquery, and this can continue as many levels as we want. This is one of the powerful features of SQL. Subqueries are very common in where clause, but can also happen in from or having clauses. Where clause subqueries can be categorized to queries that produce scalar results or relations. A scalar value is an atomic value that can be a component of a tuple. That could be used in a comparison to a constant value or in comparison to an attribute in a condition. This condition could be in the where clause. Subqueries can also return relations. In this case, we have to have a way to compare to more than one element in our condition. For example, our query here is a nested query consisting of an outer and an inner query. The inner query produces a scalar value, which is in turn used by the outer query in a comparison to an attribute value. Our second query here is also a nested query. However, our inner query produces a table in return, consisting of one column with different values. Now, we need to have a way of using that table in a condition. The outer query here uses the in operator to check for values of SID that belong to the set of values returned from the subquery. In, not in, exists, not exist, any, and all operators can be used in conditions to check against the results of subqueries returning tables. Exists can be used to check if a table is not empty. In operator can be used to check whether a value is within the values of a unary relation. A unary relation is a relation that only has one column. Not in similarly ensures that a value does not exist among the values of a unary relation. All ensures comparison to all values within a unary relation. And any is true if and only if at least one value in the unary relation satisfies the condition. Subqueries can appear in from clauses as well. In this case, they're followed by a tuple variable that represents the tuples in the result of the subquery. For example, the shown query finds the ID of the students and ID of courses in which those students have A+ grades. The resulting table is then used with the tuple variable named course in the outer query as a part of the from list.